Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone podcast, where we talk about all things crypto market. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Memecoins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to talk about the Solana proposal to reduce inflation that's in danger of passing.
Ray, we got breaking news.
Hit it.
I don't know the sound. Trump family's in talks for a deal with Binance. And on top of this, CZ is pushing the for a pardon.
All right, easy. You got to get back from your flight to Mexico. We didn't hear any of that.
But we need to stay in Mexico as well. So I'll bring up news on that. We're also going to talk about the CPI report coming in cool, its effects on the market overall. We're going to talk about a number of meme coin ecosystems beginning to heat up a little bit after a bit of a cool season. Easy, are you in Mexico right now?
I mean, he's somewhere. He is somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're pretty cooked. Clemente, how you feeling?
Coming back.
You're crispy.
I feel good, Ray. I did a little run this morning. Felt agile. I signed up for a gym membership yesterday as well.
Cold plunge.
Dude, I was cold plunging it up.
I think you might be on the wrong mic.
I mean, geez, the lack of professionalism from the crew today. I'm on the right mic, Raymond.
Okay, your mic's
all right, Mike.
There we go. Perfect. Now we're good.
That was weird.
Yeah, you
look, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the just a huge unprofessionalism today. We're in action now. We're rocking and rolling. Right, I feel good. The market saw a little rally yesterday. Right, we're back at an 83K Bitcoin. I walked out. I had a little pep on my step. I think we got humbled, and I felt grateful that we're at 83K Bitcoin, where 3 weeks ago I would have been, looking down off my ledge. So yeah, back over to you.
Yeah, just seeing this breaking news now. Trump family has held deal talks with Binance following crypto exchange's guilty plea. Interesting to see what's going on here. So maybe they're just trying to invest in Binance. Are they trying to take it over? Does CZ mention something about this?
Free CZ. I don't know. He's been pushing to get pardoned.
CZ's out of jail, isn't he? He's in house arrest?
Yeah, but he can still get pardoned.
Okay. All right.
Like
once his
you don't have to be in jail to get your crimes dropped.
That's fair. Oh, I want to talk about this too. I'm going to make a note because this post is interesting to me as well. With Clemente. Easy. Where are you located right now?
Not Mexico.
You're still cooked somehow.
Dude, this guy's cooked. Long BNB. BNB's pumping right now. Long it or short it. Do something with BNB. It's at 593.
Maybe we'll do something with BNB tomorrow because Easy's absolutely cooked right now. I don't want to have to subject him to any more issues.
I'll be back.
We've got a lot to talk about here. Clemente, why don't we kick the weather report off and then we can actually kind of get into it instead of this kind of like holding pattern we're in with the microphone and flight issues.
I mean, I'm locked in now, Ray. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm freaking right on the money right now because, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday, March 13th. Looking over at the crypto roundup. The major down slightly on the day. Is that true? We got Bitcoin at 82,500, Ethereum 1,900, and Solana 126. A little volatile day yesterday. But over the past 24 hours, Abu Dhabi, their MGX investment fund, invested $2 billion with a B in Binance. Binance dominating, marking the largest investment in a crypto company ever. And the largest investment paid in crypto, a little stable coin action in that. This is MGX's first investment in the crypto space. Wow. I did not know that. That is huge. Huge. Next up, it was a bullish day for Ripple and XRP. There were rumors swirling around that their lawsuit with the SEC is coming to an end with more favorable terms for Ripple. Can't say I'm surprised. They also received approval to provide crypto payment services in the UAE. I believe that's the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
Abu Dhabi, that's the capital of UAE.
Got it. Capital of Abu Dhabi, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, it's a bad day to be a crypto scam artist, as Argentina sent a request to Interpol for the arrest of Hayden Davis for his involvement in the Libra scam. If I were to give my take on this, this is nothing more than some politics game from the Argentinians. Those slimy sons of bitches are back at it. Davis's lawyer has yet to respond, and Argentina has already been able to freeze $100 million in assets relating to the token launch. What? I don't know if that's true, ladies. I think that's another propaganda by the Argentinians. But we'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Hayden Davis, I've seen reports that he's just withdrawing a bunch of the money. So he's just wish-washing around. I mean, it's getting crazy up in here, folks. Back over to you in the studio, Ray.
Excellent weather report, as always, Clemente. Yeah, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, all over the news today. Big money coming from the UAE into crypto, approving XRP Ripple transactions in the UAE. That's huge as well. I want to hear more about your opinions on Argentina, though, Clemente. You seem pretty heated about the information coming out, and you think it's all false, and they're just trying to scam everybody.
Well, that's just, I need to read the actual story. But them trying to get so they're trying to arrest Hayden Davis. That's nothing more than the opposition in Argentina being like, yo, hey, we got to try to, this is the one move they've been able to pull on Malay. So they're trying to just they're trying to just milk the story. They're just milking it all day. I keep, every single day I get a new text from an Argentinian reporter. Still to this day, I'm so pissed I gave my number out to one of them because they are just spreading that number around like wildfire. Those Argentinians, dude, they just love it. They love it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but what is this? I'm saying that they've frozen $100 million in assets.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying the prosecutors have moved to freeze $100 million in assets.
Oh, they've moved to do it. Yeah. They got they got the lazy asses off the couch because Argentinians don't work. And they're like, hey, we're going to try to move these $100 million in assets that we literally have no idea how to do that. They don't know how the blockchain works. If they think that they can just say, hey, we're going to freeze it. Yo, put the blockchain in the freezer, folks. Put the blockchain in the freezer because it's going to get all kinds of cold up in here. No, they have no idea what they're doing.
Phil, you're enjoying this. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, buddy. How you guys doing?
Doing great. I like your framing. Did Clemente adjust a little bit there?
No, exactly the same. Me and Clemente forgot to do it yesterday. So I don't know if Clemente is coming over today, but we won't forget. We won't forget.
You got a new shirt, Pio?
Just a white shirt with a pocket right here.
Oh, it looks yellow.
Nah.
Just the light.
Just a white shirt.
Got it. So what was Pio, real quick? What was a neighbor dumped their vacuum dust on the balcony?
I heard like some clicking and then I just look over and it's actually the neighbor that has the best balcony setup. Like I'm taking inspiration from him. Like me, he's got the full thing, laid down. He's doing the fake grass. I'm doing the wood tiles, which I think are better, but the fake grass is actually more expensive. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like the wood tile is better than the fake grass. I don't like, why is that cheaper? But anyway, he's got two what do you call it? Those wooden planter boxes with the trellis, right? And so he's got like Bougainville. Oh shit, he's out there right now. He's out there again right now. I don't know if he can hear me, but I just hear some clicking and I look over and he has the same vacuum as me. So if you guys aren't familiar with the world of high-end vacuums, I'm relatively new to it. I got my high-end vacuum in the past two and a half years. High-end vacuums cost about $300. And when you first see that price tag, you're like, what the fuck? Why would I ever spend that much on a vacuum? It just changes the game, dude. $300 Dyson absolutely changes the game. I'm going to assume Easy has one. Easy, you got a $300 Dyson?
Oh yeah, cordless.
So you're like a mid-tier vacuum guy. You went with a $300 model.
Wait a minute. So Ray, what do you have? What do you have?
I think we have one of these I think
I have that one right there. That $650 one.
Damn, Pierre, you got to step it up.
Oh, so I'm just like a bitch. I have the the V7 or the V8. I did not know.
No, the V15, dude. You could probably vacuum up a dead body if you want. That engine cooks, dude.
Wow.
It sounds like it's like.
All right, so I'm the noob. So ignore what I said about $300 being high end, but I have a $300 one. I don't know how expensive this guy's is. He is not out there anymore, so we can say this at normal volume. I just hear some clicking, and I look over, and he's just, he's doing what you're supposed to do into a trash can, and he's just doing it right off the.
Insane.
It's insane, and so I mean, it doesn't affect me because I'm like over here, but I'm like, dude, I bet some of that dust is going on the balcony. He's on the top floor. He's got the penthouse level. So, like some of the other balconies are probably getting. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You just didn't want to put. Do you throw banana peels off this shit too? Like,
I mean,
I don't
respect
understand.
it. Like, that's a power move, dude. That's like, hey, fuck my neighbors, enjoy the dust. And I bet there's some filth in that thing, dude. There's some gnarly shit that gets in those. Those things get nasty, like nasty.
I mean, this is just horrible behavior. When I was in college, actually, there was a period of time. So we had a dumpster right outside the window. So we used to take the trash barrels and open the trash bags and like the, finished trash. And we chucked it like basketball past it from the window into the dumpster. And I think almost every time we got it in, maybe once or twice we missed it, which obviously wasn't great. But I got into the habit at 19 years old of also dumping my cereal, the end of the milk and just taking it and dumping it out the window without hesitation. It became
crazy.
It became automatic for me. And one morning, eating my cereal, whatever, and then I just go dump it out the window, and I just hear, "Hey, asshole! Hey, fucking asshole!" And I just got scared and I shut the window. I never thought about it again. But I think I dumped cereal on someone walking to class.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Back to the conversation. Pio, did you ever vacuum?
Dude, easy, you're cooked, dude.
Why the fuck is my Wi-Fi so bad?
Here's the setup here. This is like the gangster setup. Big Alejandro. I have a central vac in my house. I plug a hose in each room. The vacuum unit's in the garage. Like,
wait,
that's
is that
real? You're serious about vacuuming.
What do you mean how long's the hose? How's that better than a wireless like $900 vacuum?
No, because those suck. Like those things can suck real hard.
Clemente knows.
Yeah. The ones where you plug a hose in and just. By the way, for everyone curious, I have a broom.
Of course you do.
Yo, you're getting a new apartment, dude. You joined my gym. You got to get one of these vacuums, man. You got to trade some options, sell some calls, sell some puts, and get a vacuum from it. But anyway, what were we talking about? Easy? You had a question?
It doesn't matter. My Wi-Fi is fucked up. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
No, I think it's way better now. Your video looks crisp.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Maybe
I asked if you had a wet vacuum. You know those things that like soaks the floor and then dries it right after?
In college, I did. We had this massive fucking wetback. When I think about that living setup, it was ridiculous. We used to take bottles of Rolling Rock. So that was like the very high-end beer we were drinking at the time, Rolling Rock. And we used to drop them at the top of the spiral staircase. So they'd go down 2-3 stories and explode. And then our neighbors downstairs one time came upstairs and like, "Yo, you guys dropping bottles? Like, is there a problem?" And we were like, "Nah, dude, wasn't us. Was those assholes upstairs." And they were like, "Yeah, fuck those guys." And so we created beef between the first floor and the third floor, and I think it only like got more intense, and it was us the whole time. But every time we would just like totally straight face be like, nah, dude, that wasn't us. We wouldn't do that. We have like a ton of respect. What are you talking about,
dude? That's
one more story.
It's dying.
I got one. I got to up you on one. We had landlord beef. That was pretty bad. Like pretty bad. This is actually a terrible story to even share. But we would come back from the bar like pretty banged up, and we were big spike ball players. So we would play spike ball. We would drive our cars on the yard to turn the headlights on to play at night. Like I'm talking like we were pretty banged up, and we'd all circle 4 or 5 cars on the front yard, very blatantly, to the point where it turned out our landlord owned the house next door. They called the landlord. Our septic tank was in the front yard. So he came over the next day and was like, "You can't put 5 cars on the front fucking yard. You're going to break the septic tank." So obviously for like 2 or 3 days, we didn't do that. We did it again. Wasn't wrong. And we broke the septic tank. It ended up causing like some pretty substantial damage.
Well, when you get into that, Nick, your mic's not working. When you get into that like doing septic tank damage, that's when you're a real menace.
Yeah. Yeah, we really just didn't believe it. We were just dumb college kids. We're like, nah, it's fine. We've been doing this for weeks. Yeah. We did it all summer, and then finally it happened. Yeah.
Yo, I got a story. I got a story. Yo, yeah. So I straight up murdered my neighbor and denied it. Classic. Okay. Straight up murder.
Okay, all right. Well,
He's still dead. He's still looking for the guy.
That's good. All right, one last
story. I got away. I'm moving out of state.
Listen, we going to a non-extradition tomorrow.
I killed Buddy, when I was on vacation in Mexico one time. No, here, real quick. So, last story. I'm going to share every detail of the story because I think
Actually,
this is one of.
hold on one second. So the breaking plates thing, I actually do have. Although my story is not as good, yours is funny because the punchline is like you were like screwing over the.
Like I can imagine the people on the first floor didn't appreciate when we were dropping bottles from like borderline terminal velocity from like these things are accelerating due to gravity and exploding upon contact. They're coming up furious and we're just playing it off like, dude, wasn't us, man. It must have been those dicks upstairs, you know? And like I think there was something, I don't remember the details, but we didn't like the people upstairs or something. We didn't even fucking get that was a crazy time. But real quick, last story. Same apartment. So this apartment, I don't know. There were 6 of us in it. We were 19 years old. Me and one of my roommates were going to like go and meet up with people at the beach. So it's during the summer. On the way out, we see a guy that he's pale skin. He's got like long hair, a tall tee, like big shorts. He's a sketchy looking individual. It's like he has bags under his eyes. It's kind of crazy. And he's working on his car. Like he's working on it, like with a wrench.
What race was he?
I think he's white.
No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe Latino. Maybe Latino.
Yeah, he's working on his car, man, homie.
You're like this guy's looking sketchy, and I'm like, this is sounding borderline racist.
not everything's racist, Nick. Not everything's racist. So he's working on like some shitty car. Like he's got all the tools just on the street of Boston, which isn't that common to like just be working on the car on a main street in like Boston proper. And he's bumping the Eminem Relapse album, which is like the weirdest album of all time, like these weird ass Eminem songs. I was like, okay, that's a sketchy thing. We go to the beach, meet up with people, have a great day. We come back. One of my roommates, when we come back, he's the only other one there. He's like traumatized. I'm like, yo, Sam, like, what's going on, man? Like, what's the matter? He's like, dude, you have no idea. I'm like, what? And he goes, this guy came into the apartment. And he just walked into the room and I was like paralyzed. Basically, this is what happened. That guy, the guy that we saw on the way out, came in. He was like totally cracked out or something. He sat next to my friend while he was rolling weed and just was like, yo, man, like, how you doing? You want to hang out? And my friend was just like paralyzed, whatever. He got up out of the room, went into or he was like rolling crack or like doing something with drugs. He went into one of the bathrooms. He took a shit in the bathroom. He didn't flush and he didn't use toilet paper. And then he just left. He was in the apartment. He just walked into the apartment and was like hanging out and used the restroom.
Your first story was better, but
this is a pretty wild story. It's not that funny, but it's pretty intense.
Hey, I had to take a shit, fool.
So it wasn't Spanish. It sounds like this guy was definitely white.
He was a very sketchy. Like
that was like a neighborhood crackhead, but that one was not. That's pretty. I mean, I have a lot of crazy stories, but they're just completely not funny. Like,
okay. I got an elementary school put on lockdown.
What?
Yeah, my freshman year, I got drunk during spring break, Newport Beach. We were walking back, and I started wrestling with my friend. We started wrestling, and we were like going hard for like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden we look up, and the cops are right next to us with the lights on, and apparently we were just going hard. And it was in the middle of it was in the front lawn of the school. And like, we look over and the kids are like looking out the window like this. They canceled recess. They're like, yo, we got to get this shit solved.
You ruined these kids' recess, dude. That's messed up. All right. Anyway, enough back in the day stories. I'm sure that there's a lot more that are funny, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. We can talk about some of the news stories of the day. Largest crypto investment ever in Binance, $2 billion in Binance. Also, the largest investment paid in actual crypto, paid in stable coins from MGX. This is their first investment into crypto. So I'd be interested to see like what comes next from them, and if more like large institutional investment companies are going to come in and invest in like individual crypto companies. Have to imagine the answer is yes, as regulations kind of become more lax. But that's an interesting one just to highlight there. The first thing I want to dive into, though, is Solana's inflation proposal. SIMD 228 is closing this evening. Currently not enough votes sufficient to pass. So this is the proposal that basically reduces the Solana emissions for stakers. Right now, it has 64.5% or 64.85% on yes. It needs 66.67% to pass. Easy. Have you been following this proposal at all in like the Solana ecosystem?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, the thought process here, is it good? Is it bad? Do we want it to pass? Do we not want it to pass?
If you like your rewards for staking, you don't want it to pass because this is going to drop the rewards for staking down substantially. So that's a big thing on it. A lot of people are also saying like with this, there's some concern because like they think that there is still a better model that could come out for like how this is done, except no one's really outlined one. So this is kind of like the main one that people are voting on. Some bigger names are saying that this is the right way to go forward with it. Mert is obviously a big proponent of it. A lot of other validators, though, are saying this is a bad move. So, like Soulblaze, the one that I predominantly stake through, is against this. A few other validators are against it because this would directly impact their cash flow.
What's the downside?
Their entire business is pitching to you the rewards that you get from staking Solana. And then Solana's like, hey, let's get rid of that. They're like, what?
Well, there goes our business.
What do you?
Yeah.
That was a champagne bottle. The camera just go to that. I think we're just popping bottles. He's like, yeah, that validator thing's not going to
Nick's like,
pass.
yeah, no, fuck the validator.
Wait, do that again, Nick? Nick, I missed it. Oh.
Yes. Saw the bottle pop up. Yeah, I mean, so it makes sense. Like, if you're someone who's just holding liquid Solana and you're just trading, you want this to pass because obviously you're not locking up your capital and earning those rewards. You're just getting debased. But if you're someone who's staking primarily, you obviously don't want it to be passed.
Yo, who's got dogs going ape?
I'll mute.
Wow, they're
Yo,
going off.
those dogs are rambunctious right now.
Yeah, dude, they're going nuts. I'm gonna mute. I'll get them.
Dude,
Decent
okay,
homes.
hold on. Speaking of dogs, I used to walk dogs. Back in high school, I was walking dogs. This was when I became a pothead as well. I would just go walk dogs, smoke weed. That was the whole thing. So this one woman, I want to go walk her dogs. There were three dogs. Two of the dogs would gang up on the other dog. One day I go to walk the dogs. You had to walk them separately. You would first walk the two dogs and then you would walk the one dog by itself because literally they would attack the other dog. So one day I go in there and somehow there's literally like a gate in between the dining room and the kitchen that would block the other dogs from getting to this to the individual dog. The gate broke or whatever, it fell over or something. Somehow the dogs had like run into it and knocked it over. They run in, they grab the other dog. These are terriers. They lock their jaw when they bite onto something. They bite they bite the dog's leg. I pull the dog out and lift it up, and the dogs are hanging off the first dog. And I just start hitting the dogs because I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do. Like, get off. The dogs unlock, drop off basically, and this other dog just has a bloodied leg that like literally they'd borderline like almost ripped this leg off the freaking dog. And that's my dog walking story.
That's very sad.
That wasn't a good story. Don't tell a story like that again. Like, give us like a funny punchline or something, dude. Like, that's animal like cruelty.
It was fucked up, dude. That whole thing.
Dude, that just ruined my whole mood.
Yo, drink that Pellegrino like some ace.
Yeah, do it again.
That's
Yeah.
I just think of these rambunctious dogs, dude. I was like, what do you do? Because they're literally in the cage. I'm like, what? Anytime I hear these dogs going crazy now, I just think of that. And I'm like, yo, holy shit. How does this woman have dogs that literally attack each other? Dude, that was the most insane. I'd never run into
like
something
that story.
Yeah, it's not a good one.
We don't like it.
How do you end up in that situation in the first place?
You offer to walk someone's dogs that aren't your own.
No. I'm saying, how do you end up with dogs that you own that hate each other so much that they're and you just keep living with them that they're like they have to live in like solitary confinement?
Nick, this brings up a good conversation of nurture versus nature.
Yep. Someone said Edgegar. I hope you weren't high at that moment. I was. There was no doubt I was high. I'm like by myself being like
that amplifies it so much more.
After school, just like panicking. I'm like,
This is
what do
young
you?
Nick.
I'm like, what do you do? I don't know what to do. This dog is I pulled the dog, and the other dog is hanging off. Like, what do you? I don't know what to do in that.
At this time, Nick, as a high schooler smoking weed, were you still very like motivated professionally? Were you like, I got to make money, I got to hustle, I got to make money, or not yet? When did that happen?
Right about here.
No, I always was okay.
I figured it was always. I figured. Well, yeah, I sold. I let a girl cheat off me in a class in like 7th or 8th grade for like $10. I was like, yeah, you can cheat off me, but you gotta give me $10.
I wasn't as much of most of my stuff involved like door-to-door sales was what I really dominated the most. Door-to-door sales. That was my area that I just excelled and really enjoyed.
Just Nick O'Neill coming up, knocking on your door and selling you fucking whatever you were gonna buy it. Whatever. And then everyone else being like, yo, you guys got to be more like this guy. And Nick just being like, I'm too good for this. I'm out. Anyway, let's get back to
speaking of selling whatever, Robinhood is starting to sell whatever. List Pengu, Peanut, and Popcat for U.S. trading. This isn't really having much of an effect anymore on these tokens.
Well, because retail traders aren't buying meme coins right now, I do think that like basically when my realtor guy, the guy that like sold my mom's house to us or whatever, when that guy is texting me about meme coins, that's when I think something like this would have impact. He ain't texting me right now. 0% chance he's texting me right now. So we got to wait until that guy's texting again.
The problem with this is like you look at Robinhood right now, it doesn't show you, it doesn't give you you need the meme, right? Like you need the picture of the peanut. You need the link to the Twitter.
Sure.
They don't give you anything. It just says Peanut the squirrel. Like, what am I buying?
That's what's causing the problem, obviously.
So
That's the entire issue with meme coins. Robinhood's not posting the picture of the meme coin. That's why all of this has just been down 99% since January 18th. It's because Robinhood doesn't post the little fucking picture of the dead squirrel. God forbid. Maybe one day Robinhood could post a little dead squirrel and we could watch the bags pump.
I had someone in my replies today about Blub. Blub is having a little bit of a rebound, and they made a meme of me as a blubfish because
You sold your aloe.
yeah, but I still sold up at I was thinking of actually buying some yesterday when I during the show, just to ride the wave. It's got a little bit of a pump here.
It's like
I'm having fun in the trenches again on Solana. I'm gonna say it, saying it out loud.
I'm gonna get to that in a second. I just want to go back over to AVAX really quick. Just we saw almost all the presale tokens up.
Wow.
All the what?
AIGG.
Blub, Wink, AIGG, and Wolf all green on the day. AIGG is down bad, 176K. But Wink went up. It was as high as up 50% earlier. These all pulled back a little bit this morning on the CPI, but starting to see some bounce off of a potential bottom here. Easy. What were you gonna say about Solana trenches?
Dude, they're showing some signs of life. Please, really kind of ignited a slight fire back in the market. It seems that obviously you're not getting 120, $150 million runners again, but dude, this thing touched after we talked about it yesterday on the show too. It ended up making a new high at 50 mil. So the chart is literally the best chart in crypto right now.
Please.
The only problem is what's the upside from here? What the meme is gonna start.
1 billion, please.
That's another 5.
It is fun. It's a hilarious meme, but it has a shelf life, no?
Yeah, but then you have other stuff that starts running here too. This thing, everything is computer. Have you seen that?
Okay. So what's that at?
So
Nick,
that's at 3.58. So the chart looks almost identical to how Please went. And what's interesting is Mark Andreessen, I believe is the guy, the P market guy. Yeah, Mark Andreessen. His bio is everything is computer now. So it's there is some leaning into this where memes right now are not moving to 100 mil in the same. Yeah, this down a little bit. You got to use your hands. My Italian's coming out. fettuccine Alfredo. And the thing though is you get like an extra day or two for stuff to accumulate, which I'm more interested in. His face right now.
I mean, dude, I wasn't talking about Italian.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
I'm completely missing what happened because I'm trying to get over to Bullex to buy some Everything is Computer right now because I was looking
That
at
was
that.
the most interesting one, hands down.
Everything is.
So can I see? Can we watch the clip? Because I haven't seen that clip.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Pull it up for Nick. I mean, it's good, Nick. It's very, very good. Like Everything is Computer is pretty good, in my opinion. See, my instincts with the meme coin still aren't there because that obviously is a good meme, and I didn't immediately think, is there a coin? I need to start thinking, is there a coin?
You need to start thinking that, Pia.
But the coins move slower right now, which is so nice. Like, oh, you missed it. It sat at 600K and went down to 350 for 7 hours. And then it pumped to 5.5 mil. Like, you have time to buy stuff right now. And the thing is, it's like you don't need to stare at the charts. If it's a good meme, it will run right now. It feels good.
2 months ago, this would have Frank Degas would have bought $100,000 of the token at like 1.2 mil.
Would have gone to 60 million, and then he would have sold, and then it would have gone to 120 million, and then it would have nuked.
All right.
Like right now, it's like this feels good.
Moving around.
Right.
I can't get this video going. I have no idea why Twitter's cooked. So frustrating.
Is this
It's an
actually
attack.
what he said?
You have to watch the clip, Nick.
I got it right.
Yeah,
Ray, I
watch
got it.
the clip.
Ukraine's attacking Ray's Twitter.
Here we go.
I mean, if you actually drove it around, it really well. Wow. My goodness, that's beautiful. This is a different paradigm. Everything's computer. Everything's computer.
I don't know this mix. Sorry.
This mix is good.
Yeah, this someone's running with it, which is a good sign for the coin. But yeah, Nick, he goes into the Tesla, he's blown away by the Tesla. He's like, wow, everything's computer.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Maybe starting.
That's beautiful. Everything is computer.
Everything's computer is sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of different memes off of it, like just like showing different things as like computers. Then it was kind of like the take on it.
I'm
like,
gonna buy some
cigarettes computer.
And people are like leaning on it, which like if this continues to get any sort of steam, then yeah, why would it not go to at least 10 mil? Like that's where my head goes. Is like we saw Please have similar price action and then ran after. So it's like this thing's a day old. If the Memecoin trenches are in this sense of like accumulation periods, which feel good, and runners are taking a little bit more time, then yeah, I'm like, this is actually my preferred way to trade memes. You find a good meme, you can buy a little bit of it, see what happens from it, and let it work.
Well, it's organic. Is this Ray's screen? Ray, did you buy this?
Yeah, I just bought it, and Clemente
And MC Dog both bought.
All right, fuck it. I'm going on Bullex and I'm buying Everything is Computer. How much Solana did you throw at this bad boy?
I put 10 Sol in at a 3.6 mil market cap. So I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm break even right now.
Exactly the same thing I did.
I'm putting 3 Sol.
I did the same. So I like what I'm going to sell as soon as Tesla posts a song that they make for this as a commercial. That's the sell. And this thing pumps to whatever.
I'm gonna sell like I normally what I do with these. I sell 50% at a 2x.
Ray dumping on our heads, dumping on the listeners. That's awesome.
50% at 7.3 million, and I'm being transparent about it as opposed to just dumping off air and not telling the listeners about it.
Wow.
I'm not holding everything as computer to
My
my
sell limit is set for 6.9 mil.
All right, adjusting sell limit to 6.8 mil.
Listeners, I apologize. That was just an unethical thing to do by both.
Dude, my last trade on this Bullex is Libra. That's the last token. And then when I search, the tokens that have been searched for are Jail Millet, another Jail Millet, Libra, Fridge, and Fartnoy.
That feels about right. Hey, well, you know when to stop
was
clicking the
Fridge?
buttons. That was the perfect time to stop clicking buttons.
What was Fridge?
I don't know. I have no, like, I wouldn't have been looking up something on my own. It would have been with you guys.
There's used to be a fridge. It was a Samsung fridge, AI Family Hub.
Yeah, I just don't remember what Fridge was. I remember we hit big on that fake reality show. What was it? That AI reality show, Clemente? When we were sitting there.
Oh, the one where Jakey
Friends?
got right.
Yeah, Friends AI or some shit. Frames.
Yeah, interesting. So we have seen some life in the trenches. These two, we saw, kind of Greed 3. We saw a number of Grok launch tokens over the last couple weeks. That
Ray, did you see Clanker did almost as much in revenue as Pump Fund?
I didn't see that in terms of revenue. I know that Clanker was setting all-time highs in terms of deployments, but I didn't think that their revenue numbers would get to Pump Fund.
I'd say almost, but they were like 10 mil off. Pump Fund did, I think, 55 mil, and Clanker did 45.
Where are we looking at that?
This guy's asked this question 3 times. I'm not farming Monad, no.
Yeah, right now it's testnet. But if you are somebody who has like time and not as much like capital, they seem to be leaning into like the farmer meta on Monad. They're trying to.
I think you're going to get rewarded for each testnet mon you have. So I think the goal is to stack test mon. Easiest way, in my opinion, is play fantasy top on it.
Yeah, Ethan.
No cost.
Ethan Macarena. I'm just gonna buy the NFT, a Monad NFT when it comes out, the top one. I'm just gonna full port that. Ethan Macarena.
You just want to say Macarena.
Yeah, Ethan Macarena.
It's not looking pretty. Maybe we found a bit of a bottom in terms of tokens launched, but addresses going down, new addresses specifically, getting down to levels from October of last year, pre-election. So that's interesting. Zama says Sonic is for farming now. Is anyone else here farming Sonic?
I did a video with Manny on it where he outlined like everything he's doing on it. It's getting some decent traction. People seem to be interested in it. There's a massive airdrop for it in June. I believe $200 million airdrop for people that are using Sonic, which is formerly FTM.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know Mando was on with PO for their podcast, and he was talking about his interest in Sonic. I think he bought some Sonic token and playing around with that ecosystem as well. I haven't done much there except for bridging. Clemente, you have that NFT still. What's the price action looking like on that?
I'm up 2x, almost 2x on it in Sonic terms, but Sonic is down 50%, so I'm break even. You can go here and you can check your Sonic points. So go to my.soniclabs.com/points. I have 10,000, which doesn't seem like a lot.
Is there a leaderboard?
Yeah, or maybe top 5 users. Leaderboard. Yeah, they got a leaderboard.
Where do you fall? Or like when do you start getting into the top? Is that top 100 there? Essentially, is 600K?
Yeah, 600. No, it's 600 million.
Oh, 600 million. Jesus.
No, I'm cooked. I don't have really anything.
Yeah,
I think I got it for.
Is it like leverage trading on there? That's the best way to stack points. I'll have to watch that video. I saw the beginning of that easy when you talked with Manny, but I'm sure he went pretty in depth on the best ways to do that. So I'll have to check that out.
Real quick on the Sonic thing, Mando did go out of his way over and over again when we were talking to him about Sonic to make it very clear that he only wants to be in Bitcoin right now. But if he was going to look outside of Bitcoin, it would be Sonic.
Okay, I thought he was there already. So I might have just.
Oh no, I think he's participating, but he just like every time I asked him about Sonic, he like he reiterated that he wants to be in Bitcoin, not like any alts.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nick, we saw an interesting thing that you would enjoy. Did you see the Socket research blog about North Korean hackers and NPM packages?
I think I had seen some clip about that, how they had inserted some code in there.
Yeah, they basically like the hackers in North Korea, the way they've been getting some of this like malicious code into some of the like larger crypto apps, exchanges, et cetera, is they're like making open source GitHub repositories that essentially have names similar to like major like repositories, and people mistyping or misinstalling them. Or
I like that.
Their code in. Yeah.
There was an old hack like that. So there used to be, there was another one. Basically, a lot of people, when Node was coming out, they would just install Node packages for every single thing. So like if you wanted to do like a function, like that did some basic string manipulation, which was super easy, they would install a Node package. I forget what the name of the package was that got hacked, but it was something like left shift, like basically just shifted everything to, or like trimmed. I don't know what it did. It like got rid of man,
White space or
wish,
something. Got rid of white space. We'll just call it that.
yeah. I wish I remembered the name of the package. Anyways, it got hacked and it shut a bunch of things down because someone pushed an update to the package. And it's like, why are there so many? You can go and look at how many dependencies there are on each of those different packages. And if you can take over one of those packages, you can have a pretty major impact on things. That's the downside of open source stuff. That said, you should probably run a test, but I mean, a hacker could come up with a way that is like undetectable even by, some continuous integration software or whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I know with your software background, and it ties into the crypto.
Super fascinating.
Yeah, so realist wizard, he said, can we talk about Yuga Mutants specifically by our company owns a Bored Ape. It's hard to tell what direction the NFT market as on the whole is going. If the NFT market's going up, then any Yuga, mutant ape asset is going to be good. But one thing that's worth mentioning that a couple of the guys have tweeted about that I'm going to tweet about is Spotlight. So if you guys are looking for a trade in NFTs, this feels like a pretty good one. We're getting deeper in the trade, but I think there's still some juice to be squeezed for sure. I'm about to buy what are they called? The Frost ones, Ray? Frost something. Anyway, if Ray scrolls down, so this, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this. I don't know how many people are aware of this, but it was announced like 45 days ago. Ape Chain is going to essentially do a it's like a floor sweep contest to the tune of $250,000. $250,000 among the top 10 communities. So the safe bet, if you have a deeper wallet, is G's on Ape, because if you can see, that's squarely the number one. So that's going to get a $100,000 floor sweep if that wins. Obviously, it is possible for it to be dethroned, but as of now, it's squarely in first place. And it's, yeah, so Fake Eye just said, get some G's before the Spotlight. It's not a 250K sweep on that one collection. It's a 100K sweep on that. Second place is 50K. Third place is 25K. But if you look at the 4th to 10th place, $10,000 sweep on each. What are the Frost one? What's that one called?
Frostbite. So let me pull them up right now on an exchange.
The 10K sweep on Frostbite will I think wipe out every single listed NFT. Like 10K is just going to take all the listed NFTs off the market.
Yeah, so there's definitely going to be some gamification with this, and like Pia said, like a huge quantity of these are going to be like knocked off, and there's no like specific end date given, but this has been running for a while, so it's like kind of at the point where it could be reaching like terminal velocity. So like I think it's going to happen without warning, essentially. So like some of these collections, if you're looking at the top 10 and they look like they're going to definitely make it on the top 10, you could see some sort of sweep where you can kind of get in and out. We don't know when the sweep is, but we are eyeing these. I have, for like full transparency, I have a bunch of gobs that I got early on, and I hold like a bunch of like kind of other random ApeCoin NFTs as well.
That gob trade is going to be a colossal win for you.
Yeah, I mean, I got them, I think sub 100 ape, and now they're like right around the K. So,
but you're going to want those got to go into the top 3 for it to really bang for you, because they're a little bit more expensive. If you can get it, if those can make it into the top 3, those are going to really bang. Outside,
really bang.
$10,000 sweep on the gobs won't be as impactful as a $10,000 sweep on something like Frostbite. Zards was another one that Ray told me to buy at the end of last week, and they've doubled since then. So I'm an idiot, and I should have bought those last week. Where are the Zards positioned in the top 10 right now?
They are right on number 10. And there's a lot. Yeah, there's a bunch here. Like Rilla's is these things have been pumping. I didn't know what they were.
What's the floor on Rilla's?
They are at 55 ape. They're up 38% in the last day.
Wow.
They were up big again yesterday. They were at 21 ape on the 9th, just 4 days ago. So this was a clean 3x on these. We're going to see a bunch of like gamification like this. We're seeing a lot of action on the ape chain side for NFTs. And then I think they're trying to position themselves as like being like one of the leaders in NFTs. So we're seeing a lot of these collections. And the thing about most of these is like they're fair launches and they're like essentially free to mint. Like these things cost like less than $5-10 to mint when they're live, and a lot of it's like allow list based on holding other collections.
That makes sense. What is the best combination of position in the top 10? In other words, like almost like a guarantee that they'll get a sweep. Because, for example, Zard's over there and Frostbite being at 9 and 10, and then Rilla's pumping up. People are trying to get Rilla's into the top 10, it seems like. What's the best combination of safety or like square position in the top 10, like comfortable position in the top 10 and relatively low floor price?
I mean, Dangs right now, we're looking at them at 55 ape, and they're currently sitting at number 2.
What? All right,
Yeah.
that's the best one then.
And that's a 50K sweep.
So
I don't know like what's going to happen there. Like, I mean, they don't have a lead that's like insurmountable by gobs or chumps, but they are they definitely are up there, and then they're priced kind of efficiently at 55 ape right here. So like that's like about $25-30 for these. And you know, a sweep will do some damage here.
So Rick Starr clearly owns Wild Dogs. I'm going to go ahead and say that. He's messaged us about Wild Dogs 4 or 5 times. Appreciate you pointing them out. He said that they're 14 ape. Where are they positioned?
Wild Dogs are positioned at number 8 right now.
Wow. So, I mean, could get disrupted, right? Number 8 is not as safe as number 2, but there's some value. Rick Starr saying he doesn't own any. Well, why not? If there's this much value, why not? Maybe, I mean, since they're so cheap, maybe I'll look at all of the cheaper ones and take a flyer on like the Wild Dogs, and then there's the number 10 is the Zards or whatever. Yeah, I'm looking at Frostbite, Wild Dogs, and then that one that you showed me that's in number 2, the Dangs. That has to be, if that gets a $50,000 sweep or even the third place prize, that's going to have a lot of value.
I really resonate with these ones, especially
buying,
the one on the floor with the plunger on its head.
It's mine. Buying it right now.
That one looks good.
And the wizard hat too.
The wizard hat looks good. The one on
Like
the
a
far
swing
right
hat.
with the beanie and the vest reminds me of Clemente.
I like it.
The reason that I think that this is so interesting is because I straight up haven't seen anybody talk about this. I've seen 0 tweets about this. I think that most of the volume is coming from the ape community, and the numbers in the floor sweep, the 250K, that's a real, actual 100% publicly announced number. And so, I mean, you guys, Nick and Easy tweeted that the only thing that was green a few days ago were Ape Chain NFTs. And it's because of this, you know, this contest, basically $250,000 floor sweep coming through. So yeah, so I don't know. Seems interesting to me. I'm going to take a look. These are the Wild Dogs. Nice.
Yeah, I'm buying 4 of these too.
There we go. All right. Well, I'll get in there after the show and, you know, start going.
Yeah, make sure I front ran you on that one.
Those dogs look like something Nick punched back in the day.
Yeah, those dogs look like something Nick enjoyed watching some animal cruelty on and smiled.
That's fucked up.
All right, other news of the day.
Didn't see it there.
CPI below estimates this morning. Fairly below estimates.
PPI.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I wrote CPI. PPI below estimates. Rate cut odds held steady, looking at 3+ cuts this year at roughly 60%. Next cut is likely not until June. Interesting take here by Wizard of Soho on what this means and how the market reacted, because we had basically a negative reaction from this. Wizard of Soho says more cooler inflation data came, 0% PPI against the expected 0.3. The PPI core went down 0.1% when it was expected to go up by 0.3. PPI year over year up 3.2 as opposed to 3.3 estimates, and PPI core up 3.4 as opposed to 3.5 estimates. Market reacting inversely right off the cuff. This would get us huge pump, usually like lower CPI yesterday. Stocks moved up, but crypto instantly down. It's possible that we are slowly moving into a good news is bad news regime. Lower inflation usually historically is a sign of a recession. If the market is tanking or taking this weakening in inflation as a sign of recession, as a bearish indicator, now we will look to Powell for further guidance if recession is incoming to make him lower rates. Then bad news will become good news again. Next week should get more color, but for now, market took a bit of a hit off the cuff. Let's see what happens as day goes on. Maybe we get a reversal. Sometimes the first reaction is wrong. Easy. You were following the PPI this morning. What are your thoughts on this? I saw you didn't really take a trade. Do you have any?
No, I didn't like it. I think May's still bottom, personally. I looked at Polymarket. They're pricing in 3 rate cuts this year with no change in March and no change in May. So, like, if we get no change then, and then they start saying we'll get cuts following, then that basically coincides with the thesis that May will be some form of a bottom with this. But yeah, I didn't want to take a trade because futures opened that were like trading flat this morning. I mean, there's clearly a correlation between the S&P at this point and crypto. So, like, if that has a big gap down, it's basically free money to short into that gap. And if it's got a big gap up, it's basically free money to long for into that 930 open. We were trading flat. PPI opened high and then faded across the crypto majors. So I was like, okay, we probably could sell off. I was saying I wanted to take an ETH short. I didn't take the trade. I think we would have ended up being in the red up until right about now. So I was fine sitting on my hands. Like, I don't need to rush into trades at this moment until we start to get like a little bit more clarity. Market still feels weak. So I think shorting bumps right now are probably the best way to do it. Any sort of slight rally, you could short into it. Yeah, dips used to be for buying, and now rips are for selling at the moment. So basically just sit hands. If you want to scalp trade, look for some relief rallies and then sell into them.
Things are dumping today.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was green, and a lot of people were like, is the bottom? Is this the bottom? Last 48 hours basically were green. And a lot of people were like, yeah, I don't know about this one, Chief. Myself included was like, I don't think this is like the bottom. I had a few people text me and they were like, did I miss the sole bottom at 121? I was like, I think we go lower. Like, I'm not buying here. And they were upset at like 130 that they quote missed it. And I was like, if you're upset that you missed the bottom, then you should start DCAing. Plain and simple. Like, if you are that upset that you missed the bottom by a handful of dollars, start to DCA. Don't full stack, but like, if you're worried it's bottoming, buy a couple SOL every few days and call it a day.
Literally nobody on crypto Twitter is like moving a sizable position into an asset at the bottom. It's just not happening. Like, you have to DCA. It's literally not happening. And
you'll never time the bottom.
I think it is the mark of like someone that just doesn't get it. If they're like, oh, I didn't buy the bottom. Like, no shit, you didn't. You like, the only way to buy the bottom is to be DCAing during the bottom and just be touching it. Just touching it.
I think it's like people saw the SOL 850 buys and $9 buys, but they forget that like to get there, you had to buy from $20 down. Wow, look at
you got to touch it.
You just got to touch it a little bit, you know? You got to caress it. Caress the bottom.
Pia was like, get the bottom, touch it.
Get the bottom.
That was diabolical. Yeah, I mean, I think people look at these like big moves and big gains. They're like, oh, that thing ripped 3x. But like, that's a 3x if you perfectly time the bottom and perfectly time the top. If you can even get like 70% of the bottom and 70% of the top, you're doing well. You're doing well.
You got to be realistic at some point. You can't just be like living in fantasy world. You just can't. So you have to DCA. I mean, even, like there's no other way to do it. You know, like, oh yeah, right now is the bottom. Let me move 80 grand into it. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
what are you talking about?
The likelihood of you being right is just slim.
What are you talking about? I don't even know. What are you talking about?
All right. I'm going to run through some more quick hitters here before we wrap. We can jump into any of these afterwards, but I just want to get through them all so everyone's apprised of all of the news of the day.
Look at Clemente. Look at Clemente enjoying that one.
Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick says Trump's goal is to eliminate income taxes for those earning less than 150K. Cantor Fitzgerald, Lutnick's company, is launching Bitcoin-backed lending for institutions. We saw Rumble purchase $17 million of Bitcoin yesterday, right around the end of the show. Bank of Russia to allow crypto trading for accredited investors. Parallel Alpha is announcing the launch of their mobile game. My Pet Hooligan also has a game coming to Xbox. And we saw Gutter Cat Gang. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. They're launching their gang token. And get this, it's going to be on Ape Chain at the end of the month. Gutter Cat Gang. Remember these guys?
Whatever happened to that guy that like took it over? Remember we had him on the show.
He's in the video. No. Oh, that guy. No, he sold it to an Anon group who opened up an entity in the Caymans.
What is going on here? Ray is just.
I'm just like, my Twitter's cooked when I try to full screen these things for some reason. I have no idea what's going on.
I mean, that just
I'll
looks.
try it one more time. Apologies for the unprofessionalism here, the lack of professionalism.
Gutter found.
All right, it just
All
clicked.
right, we're good.
Anyway, you
Can't
got
do
to click Cat Gang, and now it's Gang Token 331.25. So that's in about a little over 2 weeks. I'm gonna bring up Blur. That dude looks very trustworthy. Wait, what's going on? It's blank on my screen.
Ladies, here we go. Right.
Clemente's the producer. He's just like literally panicking.
Oh right, you can't trade Gutter Cat Gang on Blur. I forgot about that. So Gutter Cat Gang for
What
you
is
guys who
taking
don't
place here?
for Nick, for people who don't remember the NFT bull run previously, Gutter Cat Gang was sold as ERC 1155s, not ERC 721s. Individual NFTs that were ERC 1155s, therefore not sellable on Blur. Interesting strategy there. But these are what would you guess the floor of a Gutter Cat is right now, Clemente?
0.09 ETH.
Easy.
0.069 ETH.
PO.
0.08.
These are at 0.29.
What?
Wow.
I mean, that's
0.297.
What are they now?
Still the same thing.
What would you guess the floor is on creeps?
There's 1.7.
1.3. 1.3.
0.9.
No. 2?
No, I'm saying Ray.
Oh.
I said 0.65.
Pull it up.
It's 1.7, I think. Let's go.
No.
2.5.
Let's go, dude. Hey, don't
Damn,
sleep
this
on the creeps. Wow.
Can we get 24-hour volume on this?
What are the floor? What's the floor on Moonbirds?
They're at 0.4.
0.48.
Yeah, 0.5.
0.3. Pull it up. Pull up Moonbirds.
Yo, Ray, pull it up.
They wanted me. Okay, I'm doing one thing at a time. Okay,
Ray, pull it up. What the fuck?
65 ETH of 24-hour volume for whoever asked me on the creeps. Moonbirds 0.4.
Oh.
Pulling it up. Phew. I guess the art's changed on some of these too.
the
Yeah.
Is this mine? This looks like my old
Oh, they
bird.
just changed the art.
Yeah. My bird's right there. He's back there hanging out.
Last thing while we're on NFTs, you guys want an interesting stat? OpenSea back on top, the new leading NFT marketplace for ETH.
Well, because people are farming
54%.
the airdrop, right?
Yep. People literally have zero loyalty to marketplaces. They're just
I mean,
like,
it's a
"Yo."
weird thing to have loyalty to a marketplace.
Hey, Pac-Man's my right
It's
side,
like,
dog.
oh, I love doing trading here. I'm so loyal. I don't like money. I like giving you my money. Only you.
All right, let's call it.
All right. That being said, thank you all for joining us on another wonderful Thursday. You can catch us back on Spotify, Apple. If you want to catch us on the podcast, you can watch us on YouTube, see what we're talking about. Look at the 2021 NFTs. Look at Nick with his sad face. Watch Pio touching the bottom. Thank you all again. Have a wonderful.
It was rough
Thursday.
today. I want to